Welcome everybody to another amazing Infinity Heroes live stream with the dev team. My name is Jason. Joining me this time, Agent Coyle. Say hello, my friend.
Good evening or good morning, everyone, depending on where you are.
And yeah, today we're doing a little mini live stream, not only to reveal the comic book trailer that we've whipped up just quickly for everybody, but also just to play some fun games. So yeah, is there anything that you want to tell us about the project as it's being headed up at the moment?
Well, yeah, it's been quite exciting over the past couple of weeks just teaming up with Sean. Obviously, we've actually started this about a year ago as we're birthed, and it's taken a while to get where we are, but we are here, and it's timing really, really well with a lot of things happening with the Infinity engine, which includes Infinity Heroes, Infinity Wars Classic, and the upcoming Infinity Wars 2. So yes, really great time. Really excited to see some of the other reveals coming up in a few weeks' time. But the one we have for today is the cover reveal, animated by one of our artists, of course, to make it all animated and cool and exciting. But yes, there'll be a physical cover, which will not animate like this. But yeah, really excited about the crossover and the first time that we get to create a comic book, which, I mean, it's something I haven't even dared to dream of, to be frank. It's just something that's sort of come along, and it's like, well, why don't we do this? We built a great game. I've wanted to be a game developer since I was 7, but I didn't honestly think we would, make a comic book. Just didn't cross my awareness. So this is a really cool thing to sort of come out of nowhere, and it's become sort of a life of its own. So really amazing to team up with Sean and Comics to Movies, and just the incredible talented team they have over there. The art that they can create is just nothing short of phenomenal, and there's a good reason why Sean's comics are the #1 Australian indie comic book when it comes to sales. So that's really awesome. As you mentioned before, it's the first time we've had a crossover like this in the industry. So the idea of an Australian game company and IP crossing over with an Australian comic book IP. So that's really awesome. And the other exciting thing is it's the first time an Australian comic has done the idea of be having like a choose your own adventure style choice system at the end of every comic book. So the readers will get to be like, oh, I want to take it in this direction, and the most votes will determine where the story goes from there. I won't say too much more about the story because I'm trying to leave it as much of a surprise as possible. But there's going to be some really exciting reveals over the coming weeks about the first parts of that story, and then we'll see where it all goes from there.
It's pretty exciting. I'll be showcasing that off once or twice more before the actual end of the stream, just because it's a nice little thing that we've whipped up. I'm kind of proud of it, want to show it off a little bit more. We will have more details for that coming in the next couple of days and weeks when the Kickstarter that's being headed up by Sean and his amazing team is launched. Where would we have to go if we wanted to hear more information about that?
Yes, so we'll put a link in the description. We will, there'll be XCTinfinity.com will be going up. It should already be working for a lot of you, but it might be propagating it as a brand new link. So we've just got we just thought, why don't we just get a .com going rather than have people go to a Kickstarter link? So you can try that now, but we'll put the proper hard link in the description of the different streams so that you guys can go to the link. If you don't mind pasting that in there, Jason, people who are live can see that, and then those that catch this stream later on can have a look at the comment below the post, and you can see the link for yourselves and check out. Yeah, it's not much on there. It's meant to be a landing page. It's just meant to show your interest, but go over there and have a look. And if you want to stay up to date with this and be one of the first backers and get the early access backer discounts and opportunities, and perhaps be one of the one-off people to take one of the one-off options at the top tier, then you might want to be on this mailing list for sure. So, I mean, I think we can reveal one of the top tier rewards. It's pretty safe to say that we'll be having that reward in there. So one of them was actually invented by you, Jason, and that was a brilliant idea. Our jaws both dropped when we heard you say the idea. So how about you reveal what one of the top tier rewards is?
I would love to, but I'm worried that I'm going to reveal the wrong one.
Well, I'll say
just
one of them.
quickly confirm with me that I'm hinting at the right thing.
Well, I can confirm that one of the two top tier rewards, because there's only two at the top, the very, very top tier, and that one of them is become a hero. So that was, one of my thoughts, and I've always done that in in these Kickstarters and these crowdfunding campaigns that we've run, is the idea of becoming a hero in the game. Whereas this time you get to become.
You can also become a villain, which
That's
is
right.
something that I don't think many places have actually given you the chance to do.
I can't think of any. I mean, I'm not a massive comic book person. I mean, I've got all the shirts, and I've read a few series from back to back, or the whole lot of them, like the Civil War series and the Exiles and some of these other comic book series. But I have not heard of it being done anywhere else.
Yeah, also welcome to everybody that's starting to tune in, watch, and drop in the comments. Pancakes on the YouTube, got a couple of people on Twitch. Good to see you. Hope you're all doing well. Haven't heard of us for a while. Hope development's going smoothly. Yes, indeed, I would say it has. So far, so good. Of course, things are moving at a pace that feels very slow, but they're actually getting done right. And, when we finish something off, we don't usually have to worry about it coming back up in a couple of months, which is something that I don't think the development team is that used to, but yeah, it's gone real good.
Yeah, and I will say that we'll refer to something we mentioned today actually over in the Discord channel, is that, what did you say? It was like twice the planning. What was the word you used there? It was, I go to the actual Discord and find exactly what word you used.
Yeah, feel free to quote me. I can only go well for my career.
It was like double. Let me see. Jason. Measure twice, cut once. So we've been doing a lot of measuring over the past couple of years. And for those who have, I don't even know if I should say go check this out, but I mean, it's in their top banner. So you can be one of the first people to go check it out. Why not? We'll mention it here as well.
This isn't the official reveal, by the way. So, just know we're letting you guys in super secret squirrel early. Just go ahead.
Or yeah, maybe you know. How about this? If you really want to go check this out, you can go check out the place on the Facebook page where it is. We'll create a little Easter egg. You got to go find it. And you're right, it's not the actual formal reveal. This is a secret reveal. So if you can find the secret reveal, you can go check it out. There's a bunch of stuff there and a bit of content that's been exclusively put up somewhere on the interwebs that you can't get to without the link and without a little thing before you get to see the content either as well. I'm being very cryptic right now, but I don't mind being cryptic. Let's do that because this is something we're still forming, but we're also getting a lot of the feedback from players and from people who do find it so that we can refine this before we do the full proper reveal to the world, which will be coming soon as well. But for now, let's just keep focus on the one thing that we are fine to totally reveal, and that is the comic book. It's funny, actually. I was like, did I actually did I remember the correct comic book series name when I said the Exiles? Because it sounds a hell of a lot like an Infinity Wars faction, and I thought for some reason, have I actually not remembered that correctly? But I looked it up, and it is the Exiles, which were a group of fictional characters from that were very closely associated to the X-Men, a Marvel Comics series, and it's actually about a bunch of characters from different universes or realities, right, that have all been removed from time and space in order to correct these problems with these alternate worlds and divergent timelines in the Marvel multiverse. So it's that you can tell some of my influences for Infinity Wars, right? Back in the day, I was right into this particular comic book series, which it came out like early 2000s, man. Like it was a really long while ago now, but amazing book and really good series. It's very cool. X-Men were in it, so yeah. And then maybe something went into the back of my mind. I can't recall if I was even the person who came up with the Exiles name. I don't think I was, so maybe. But either way, very cool stuff, and really, really excited to team up with this comic book crossover, and who knows, maybe the first of a few to come, and definitely the first in a series here we're doing. So it's a 4-part series actually we're doing with XCT. So yeah, and there's been a whole bunch of chatter actually as well on the XCT side, because this is obviously primarily an XCT project. So
it's being head up and led by their team, essentially.
Yeah, that's right. We're not even running like the crowdfunding campaign or any of that stuff. We're just lending the IP, and obviously we are doing some big stuff with bringing Spartacus into the game. I will say that. So I don't know if that was meant to be revealed, but anyway, Spartacus is coming across into Infinity Heroes.
I don't know if
as
it was
well.
supposed to be revealed either, which makes me slightly regret a post I made a
No,
couple
we'll
of
be
days ago in the
fine.
Discord revealing it. Whoops.
Oh, that's okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay. We don't mind dropping some of these
Information's
things
out there.
as long as we don't do silly things like actually reveal the story of the comic book, which we won't do, because you don't even necessarily know where it's going. Right? It's shifted a little bit since you last looked at the last draft of the script.
Indeed.
But yeah, very cool stuff, and even being able to co-create. I mean, obviously he headed up the story and stuff, but you know, I was involved as you know, obviously as creative director in the Infinity project. Some of the story and what we wanted to do with some of the characters, and yeah, some really exciting things there from some of our fan favorite characters and some new heroes as well. So yeah,
Welcome, Twin Dennis, by the way. I honestly missed the animated card game. It was one of the few CCGs I could call home. Hopefully we'll see great success from its successor and, of course, greater fun. Thank you so much. Your support means a lot. Hope you're having a fantastic time.
Thank you so much. And I will ask that user if they happen to have played Infinity Heroes or picked it up yet. Just curious if you have, and just let us know if you have in the comments, in the Twitch comments. So I might do something for you. But we'll see what you say to that first. And yeah, that's about it. I'll stay on the cast for a couple more minutes. And just, is there anything you can think of there, Jason, around the reveal specifically you want to chat about?
I don't think there's much that I want to talk about that is safe to talk about, I'll say. I am just very excited to see where the comic goes, because as you mentioned, it is a bit of a collective choose-your-own-adventure where the audience gets to vote on where they go next, and, you know, they will influence the story as it progresses, and, you know, depending on the audience vote, we could have one ending that we really get excited about that just gets thrown out because people didn't vote for it. And then we end up doing something else that's completely and utterly amazing as well. And I'm just excited to see where it goes. You know, there's so much potential.
Yeah, there is. There's so much we can do with it, and there's so many ideas coming out of the reveal over at the Comics to Movies. They were like, can we do some time travel? Can we, do some sort of what if style stories in both the universes? And yeah, why not do some alternate reality stuff if the project goes well? So it really does depend on, you know, the project overall, and then obviously this first Kickstarter and comic, and how that all lands and is received. So we're confident if we get the word out there about this, then, you know, we should have some pretty cool stories to tell after this first one. So
yeah.
Did you hear back from that user just at this
point? Twin Dennis hasn't spoken up so far. He might still be around. He might not be. Either way, I hope he's doing well.
Yeah. Maybe we can play that video one more time before I toddle off to
yes,
bed.
Indeed
it's
we can.
11:20 p.m.
Sure thing. Go ahead and mute yourself. And everybody, I would just like to quickly, once again, bring you the XCT cover reveal. Enjoy. So there it is. The reveal for the first Infinity Multiverses comic book crossover, crossing over with Australia's #1 selling indie comic book, Extreme Champions Tournament. I think Coyle has an early day tomorrow, so he can be heading off in a moment, but Twin Dennis is still around, if you wanted to just say hello to them before you leave. I think he's muted himself and has forgotten. Give it just one moment. Is he there? He has deafened himself. Interesting.
Yes, I did mute myself. Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
All good. I just want to make sure I didn't send my stuff across. So Twin Genesis is around. Did he say he has a copy of Infinity Heroes?
No, he just said hi.
Either way,
I don't think he heard you.
Let's give him a copy of Infinity Heroes. If he hasn't got one, then he can give it to. If he has got a copy already, he can give it to his mate. So, just like to give you a copy of Infinity Heroes, there, Dennis. And just for anyone who is curious about Infinity Heroes, it is our mobile. It's a mobile sister game to Infinity Wars Classic and Infinity Wars 2. They kind of make a terrible trio, or terrific trio, we'll call it for now, in the Infinity engine. They're all connected, and you know, there's some stuff there in that little Easter egg, if you find that, guys, on the Facebook page, that reveals what's happening with the future of these products. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. But yeah, it's quite a great little game. Actually, my partner's been getting into Infinity Heroes of late. She's been quite hooked on it. She literally is kicking me off my computer during work time just to play some more rounds of Infinity Heroes. That's how much she's genuinely enjoying the game. So she's actually been playing a lot of the adventure mode, which for some of the people who might not be aware, there's an adventure mode which is like a roguelike adventure. You can go and create your own hero even from scratch. Take the body from one of the heroes, upload your own image, any image you have on your hard drive. You can actually make that the body of your hero, give it your name, borrow the powers of a hero in the game, like some of the base powers and units that they have, as well as borrow a hero power from a different hero, and then take it out on an adventure, which is really exciting. And yeah, she's been really enjoying that, and it's been really a great example of you know, Infinity Heroes' capacity to take somebody who, frankly, got very daunted by the idea of Infinity Wars. Like, she did enjoy it and thought it was pretty, and did have a lot of fun with Infinity Wars' first levels. But then when she had to go and make a deck, it was like, oh, it was a bit of a headache, you know. So and you know, much to take on for somebody who's first new to card games. So Infinity Heroes takes all that away and gives you just the simplicity and the fairness of having all the heroes, you know, having pre-made decks effectively, and being able to play with those. But in the case of adventure mode, being able to craft your deck through a roguelike experience. So every level that you go through in the game, you start unlocking more and more cards. And obviously, Jason, you'll probably take the guys on a bit of an adventure today, I'd imagine.
Yeah, probably.
Playing with the guys, so that'd be cool. And yeah, some really, really cool stuff coming up in Infinity Heroes, and the Infinity Engine, I should start saying a bit more now, because they are all connected. So very cool stuff. Like, we've got the new UI that's coming. Again, don't know if we've announced this stuff, but look, the features are going to be coming on hard and fast anyway herein, because we've been, you know, working away on this engine for a few years now, and then now we get to start implementing a lot of the features quite fast. But that'll be more of just the, you know, the base functionality. There'll still be a lot of like polish and you know, UI stuff that we're going to create. But yeah, people should be able to have some pretty exciting games very soon, thanks to some of the most recent changes we made to the engine and tying everything together. So
yeah, I'm already getting slightly irritated looking at this build. Like, it looks okay, but compared to you know, the council version of the build and the dev build, there's just so much more like beauty going on to the actual UI, and it's so much easier to look at. Who,
yeah, definitely. I
was about to say who designed that, but I just remembered I know who designed that, and I didn't want to come across as like just trying to give you a bad setup. I legitimately forgot who designed that new UI. Coyle, who did that?
I don't know. I mean, like, what do I say now? It was me, right? So I definitely took a good look at usability and accessibility within Infinity Heroes, and then, you know, how are we going to be able to, we can say this part, you know, connect the different expressions of the Infinity Engine. How do we connect them all together and have them all impact each other, and basically get a lot of the benefit out of the different projects impacting each other. So the things that we do in one project will create more content and more features in the other projects. So that this is the grand plan behind the Infinity Engine that we're starting to reveal in secret. Again, I got to be very careful with reveals and stuff, but you know, we're indie, so we'll see who puts together the pieces and gets the picture before we make a formal expression to the world about it. So
it's always just slightly nerve-wracking having you on a stream, because you have all of the information and a lot less of the restraint, and you just have so much passion. You're excited, you want to share, and like, I do too, and Ruben does too. But like, it's always a little bit iffy, because like,
the thing is,
you
I'm
don't
not
have
really,
anyone that's going to yell at you if you
fully
do that. Like, if you spoil something, there's no boss that's going to yell at you. You're just gonna.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
we
it's
all
really,
have that
really,
fear
I can
keeping
actually,
us in
unfortunately,
line.
be
You don't
my
have
own,
that fear, and it
my own
worries
worst
me.
enemy, right? Because.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, thing. Maybe let's open up our game as well while we're chatting and stuff, because it's good that we're having a good chat like this. But
Twin
yeah,
Dennis
let's open
says
up
also, by
maybe
the way, my favorite art from Infinity Wars used to be Tibet the Mad
Tibet
Monk. It was rendered
Monk.
so
It's
nicely.
rendered so nicely. I
Nice.
just wrote it myself, and I've just jumped on
Cool.
as well. So got a few viewers coming on. Thanks for joining the stream, and yeah, we're really excited to show you guys some pretty cool stuff. So for now, all we can say is that Infinity Heroes has been a labor of love over the past few years that has given us a really solid code base. And when it comes to the card logic, especially because we refactored this game 3 times. So we with Infinity Wars 1, we used the same code base that was meant for this 3-month quick project called Infinity Wars that would be released in 3 months, and then 2 years later we ended up releasing this mammoth project that never got a chance to be reworked and never got a chance to be rebuilt from the ground up. And I mean, it was one of our first games. We'd only been around for I think 3 or 4 years at that point, which is still very young in the life of a video game company. So we had a lot of things to learn, and we just didn't have the resources or we had so much interest for the game that we didn't have the chance to actually make the game as solid under the hood as we wanted to make it, because we were continually chasing new sets and people were excited to see new features, and we were happy. We were also excited to keep experimenting with new features. So we've really taken our time with Infinity Heroes, knowing that in the background we were building an engine that was going to fuel the follow-up titles and the sister titles, and so I'm very, very excited about where we can take this, and again, choosing my words carefully, but lovely special effects as well that are coming on.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool seeing all that. At least that's on the live branch. Sort of looping back to some of the stuff that we're building right now that we can announce is the UI changes. And how did I think about this from a perspective of, okay, we're linking a lot of these products. I can say that as well. A lot of the efforts and the experiences you're having in one product will cross over to, at least the rewards will cross over to the other products as well. So that's pretty exciting. So you can basically be a hardcore Infinity Wars classic fan, and really want to just play the old school Infinity Wars game, but then still introduce it to your mates through Infinity Heroes and give them sort of an experience that I was referring to before with my partner, and her experience of being daunted by the Infinity Wars deck builder, and then going through this mode and going, you know what, I love making decks. That's cool. Yeah.
Also, did you want to give Twin Dennis a free copy of Infinity Heroes? Was that what was happening earlier?
Yeah, that's what just happened. I'm just going to message him now. Let me just log in.
Oh.
I'll do that while you're playing. I can do that
problem.
before I go. So Twin... Oh my goodness. Log in here.
Oh, heck. I don't see that play used very often. I kind of wasn't expecting it. Okay. Sorry.
So yeah, I'm going to give you a copy of it today, and I just love your feedback. If anything, just let me know what you think of the thing. Just bear in mind that vision, and that this whole game has been designed to be more accessible. Even with what we're doing with Infinity Wars Classic, there is word of us doing. I love that effect when you drop it out in the field.
Yeah, I was just waiting to show you, because that is, oh my god, I've
good.
never seen that effect.
Good. She's done a great job. So you might have to accept my friend request if you don't mind, Twin Dennis. We can be mates, and then just love to hear your thoughts about the game so we can improve it and make it better. But this UI, this also helps to explain to everyone. This kind of UI and feel is very much designed to be easy to see and easy to stream, and to have people watching this and be able to follow it as an esport. Because another thing is, Infinity Heroes has been designed to be an esport, and something that anyone can pick up and play, and anyone can become the world champion without having to spend $600 on a certain deck for a certain other digital game that kind of requires you to spend that much money on the game, opening packets and getting cards just to be able to get the meta cards to win. So I'm just going to whisper you that code there, Mr. Dennis. Over to you, Jason, while I find this code for him.
Yep, no problem. Spartan Donut says, if memory serves me correctly, UI is looking much cleaner than last time I was here. I mean, not only are you correct, but you're also wrong in the way that it looks even better in the council branch, and we're not even on that branch. I'm very excited to be able to share that part.
Wrong, but he's certainly right on it being improved. But yeah, we can't wait for you to see what you think of the next version, mate. And I in particular am actually interested to hear what you think of that. I'm going to give him...
Pancake says, any chance you can make the Endless Horde, the 1/2 undead card, ability to merge with other Endless Horde? Huh. I kind of like that. I feel like if I pitch that to the dev team, they might yell at me because that sort of functionality isn't near. But I like it as a concept. It's interesting.
I missed it. What was it?
Any chance you can make the Endless Horde, the 1/2 undead card, ability to merge with other Endless Horde?
Well, that's a cool idea, and in fact, we did that in a particular card. Do you know which card it is, Jason? It's a test your Infinity.
Don't.
Right. So, I designed a card way back in the day called the Cyborg Zombie Dragon, if I remember correctly. It's the Cyborg Zombie Dragon is actually a merger of a whole bunch of Endless Horde. So if you go look up that card on the wiki, you'll see that it's literally got a whole bunch of Endless Horde's faces and stuff sticking out of this dragon. It's pretty freaking epic. And the dragon, I can't recall how many it turned into, but I'm pretty sure that when it died, it turned into like 6 Endless Horde and just like dumped them onto the battlefield because they all just sort of fell apart. These Endless Horde that came together and formed a dragon. So that's pretty cute.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
I'm very picky with games, and IWs to surpass some of the current CCGs as an idea.
As an idea? Yeah. Well, I would certainly agree with you on that. I still try and play some of these current CCGs, even in today's CCGs, and I get annoyed by not having an undo button. And I get annoyed by waiting for the other player.
It's so weird that that's not industry standard yet.
Well, they can't. They can't do that because a lot of these games don't have simultaneous turns. That's no slight on them. That's just the pathway they've gone down. That's why I don't mind things like Runeterra that have taken the card game format and made it very, very fast paced and almost real time. It's like super turn based. Each person takes an action rather than a whole turn in Runeterra. But it's funny though that games like Hearthstone are starting to copy this idea of having simultaneous turns, which is exciting for their new Battlegrounds mode, which is really cool. Because I went and learned a whole bunch of things by playing their Battlegrounds mode, and I was like, you guys want to have a planning phase and a resolution phase like in Infinity Wars, then perhaps there's something we can learn from you guys as well. Because there is some exciting Battlegrounds formats. I mean, obviously Hearthstone were not the first people to do a Battlegrounds game by any stretch of the imagination, but I do like the idea of, in Battlegrounds, you play with like 8 different heroes all at once. 8 players are all playing at once. But there's some of these Battlegrounds games that are like 100 players. It's almost like a battle royale of players. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but there's some exciting ones that are out there that have 100 people all playing at once. And why couldn't we do something with that with an Infinity game? Who knows? But, I'm always the one with all the wild ideas. And, right now we're in a different phase. We're in a phase of actually getting some of these wild ideas right, starting with Infinity Wars Classic. So.
Not sure if I can mention.
I think I just mentioned that, but Runeterra. How did they do that? They've done, as I mentioned before, they did that thing where it's like real time. It's almost like, well, not real time. It's like pass. It's like you have this chain of action taking that people are taking. So yeah, it's semi simultaneous turns. I would have to disagree with you there in part there, Twin Dennis, that it's kind of like semi simultaneous where they're going one person takes an action, next person takes an action. There's these actions that play out. But they do have that part where I suppose where you plan all your attackers, but then it still turns it over to the other player to plan their defenders,
Yeah.
right? Whereas Infinity Wars and Infinity Heroes does true simultaneous turns where people are both making all their planning all at once, and then both players click on end turn, and then it rolls out. So, yeah, but back to the new UI. It's going to be really really cool. I was thinking about how do we then make this work, for Infinity Heroes on mobile.
Sorry, just saying goodbye. Someone just left. Go ahead.
Yeah. And then make some more use of this space and not just use buttons to click left and right. How do we get to any menu, especially because of the extra, options we're adding into the game currently, some very, very big options that are coming into the game. It's really fleshing it right out. So it looks far more like a PC-focused title, which is the direction we are going in with all the Infinity brands, while still staying true to the idea of Infinity Heroes being a cross-platform game, so you'll be able to still play on your mobile versus somebody on their PC. You will still be able to do all that. And we still have a semi-working mobile build, so the game is still built with that in mind. We've been careful in my redesign of the UI to still honor the mobile platform, which is what we didn't do the first time around. When I was designing Infinity Wars 1 with Ian, we just went all the way naturally. I don't even think we lent into it. We just sort of naturally ended up doing a UI that made more sense to just be a PC only thing, because it just translated so well, and because Infinity Wars is really a PC game. Like it doesn't work too well to have 100 units in your attack zone and 50 units in your defense zone, like you can have in Infinity Wars on a mobile screen. It just doesn't. But yeah, thanks a lot to the Spartan Donut who's checking out. So awesome, man. Thank you for that. And yeah, we're really super excited to reveal some cool stuff to you soon. So thanks for your support, guys, and thank you for coming on. All of you who've joined us, it really does. We notice you, especially because we're still.
Same to Judah,
starting
who
this
just popped
whole.
in. He's just head in and he's already leaving. So hello, goodbye, Judah. Hope you're having a great day.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Oh, you're playing as Agent Coyle. I'm touched. Yes. I do like the rework of Agent Coyle's ability now as well. That's been good. He finally feels more Agent Coyle-like, which is cool. Indeed. Are we allowed to reveal that? Nah, we'll leave it. We'll leave it as a reveal for another week.
It's not the one in the current build, right? We're not revealing something that's already live. It's
no. It's in the dev branch.
All right.
Well, it's like on the council branch, but it's not on the live branch. But we'll be doing a live push. I think we're aiming for one this week, so you might end up seeing it. But our priority is on stable build to be out there in the world. But there's some pretty important fixes we brought into the game as well. So speaking of stable, it's almost beholden upon us to make sure we put a build out there into the world with all these fixes that we've got going. Because there was a pretty big bug, and so for anyone who's actively playing the adventure mode a lot, you don't want to be rocking the Agent Coyle Dragon Sword, because it does not work if you happen to roll into Henrique on level 4. It crashes your adventure mode run, which is not fun for anyone. So anyone who's doing a lot of adventure modes and happen to be watching this stream now or later, do
we have to make an excuse to make that lore friendly now, or is that just the way it is?
Sorry?
We can make some lore development that makes that make sense, but I don't think we have to.
I'm probably going to speak out of line here, me, but maybe he got a little distracted by Henrique and then crashed and burned.
I was thinking something about, Princess of Hell and, someone who's literally part demon in like a human body.
Well, I could say the demon part of me got very, very distracted by her, and so created an infinite loop, which is hilarious that Infinity Heroes has an infinite loop in the game, an infinite loop bug. Ouch. Oh yeah, that's the way, Mr. Invincible Demon. Oh, poor clone. What do they call it? What's the card called again?
Imperfect clone?
Imperfect Clone, that's the one. Yep. So we'll have a stream coming up with a new hero, Spartacus, as well, coming up towards the launch of our Kickstarter. Well, not our, but his Kickstarter. We are partnered with him for it, but he is heading it up. So we can say both are true. His and our Kickstarter. Here we go. So Twin Dennis is saying, for a PC card game, played so well. I mean, it's as gameplay. The second favorite game is Gwent. Yeah, I like Gwent as well. It's actually quite a nice game. They usually look downgraded compared to PC counterparts. Yeah, and look, I would agree with you there, man. They do have a habit of looking lesser because they're kind of simplistic in some ways. That's why I love the Infinity Wars or the Infinity Games model, because this whole idea of turn-based gameplay can be quite strategic and especially tactical on the battlefield. So, you know, it's quite a fun game to play and quite challenging as well. And what we did with the PC mode, as you can tell here, we've turned the thing sideways, so the game translates in cross-platforms with a mobile mode that is done portrait to make it so you can one-thumb gameplay, and then in landscape so you can play in the comfort of your PC. And then the cool thing is with this as well, with the Infinity Heroes redesign, or the difference in design, it's a sister product, so it's still very, very similar in gameplay. What we've done, we've just restricted the number of characters you can bring out, which actually brings a lot of tactical choice into your gameplay, because you can't just like spam things out and it doesn't matter where the things are so much on the chain of attack or defense. Now it really matters. You only get 2 spots where you can place your defenders, and they get 3 attackers. So it's quite an aggressive game compared to Infinity Wars, because we want the games to be over nice and quick too. So yeah, we've got a really sweet spot here for a game that's meant for really short playtimes. And that doesn't have to be for, mobile people. It can be for people who are very busy PC players. And maybe they're waiting for a match in another game, waiting for a match in a battle royale or something, and they want something to do. You can smash out a quick Infinity Heroes match.
Quick question coming through from Twin Dennis. Is Infinity Wars not in development currently? Bit of a complicated yes and no answer. Yes, in the way that we're developing Infinity Wars Classic. No, in the way that the version of Infinity Wars that's available on Steam right now is not being actively worked on, because it's kind of gross behind the scenes.
Yeah, and I would just like to pick up that we've got one of the coolest bugs I think I've ever seen in Infinity Heroes. I just want to address that first. That looks amazing. So what it's doing is it's rotating between Noclus and Vizier.
Yeah, why is it
Did you notice
doing
that?
I
don't know, but it's freaking awesome. It's one of the coolest bugs I've ever seen, man. Like it's rotating between Vizier and Noclus, but that's okay. Yes, it's not in development. So I can't recall even what you just said there as your answer, but it's not development. In development as far as the original is concerned, but we have got something very exciting we're working on at the moment. We can say we're launching and working on Infinity Wars Classic mode. So that's happening at the moment, which is an opportunity for you to have that classic gameplay. And yes, we're doing it in this engine, but we're also we've also got plans and the capacity for us to build it with a high definition update of the 3D graphics in the Infinity engine. So that is all possible. Just depends on how things go over the next little while. But yeah, there's nothing stopping us from making a HD remastered version of Infinity Wars original, which we're calling Infinity Wars Classic in this current implementation. And what else I got to say? I would say I only miss the 3D look, nothing else. But I didn't try yet. We'll do it once downloaded. So yeah, I just mentioned that actually. So the 3D look is something that of course even I miss. I mean, I was one of the people who helped design that in the first place. So I miss that look as well. It is quite PC specific. Again, that's something that's not going to translate well to a mobile, and it's not going to translate as well when it comes to esports. So factoring those two things in as part of the reason for this updated design. We actually borrowed a fair bit from Gwent, funnily enough, when it comes to the design of Infinity Heroes. But that 3D look is not gone forever. there will be ways and means for that to revisit. We still have all the assets, and we can put in the work to upgrade them and remaster them for 2020, so it'll look even better than Infinity Wars 1 did, and play better because you won't have the same bugs, because our Infinity engine doesn't have the same desync bugs that that Infinity Wars 1 had, unfortunately, because we never refactored the game. The same code that was meant to be a 3-month project is still the same code that's currently in Infinity Wars 1 today. So,
to the level 2 guy that just beat me in the live game itself, I'm sorry I didn't realize I queued into an actual match, but I didn't want to quit out of it when I realized. B, it's like midnight, so me losing is completely acceptable. C, the sun was in my eyes, and I tripped over and fell. It's not my this isn't my fault. Well played.
Well played. So well played.
I just lost to a level 2. Oh, God.
Love
Okay.
it. Well, I'm going to take my leave. I was actually on here. I was meant to be on here for 5 to 10 minutes before going to bed, and this ended up being quite a long cast. I'm actually going to get up quite tomorrow morning. I'm going to the equivalent of Gamescom, which is like the biggest games conference in the world. It would be normally, but obviously COVID happened, and now it's being held online. So I have, what about 20 appointments to go to over the next 3 days, Jason? Between
something. I think we got 16 confirmed, 4 on the way, maybe.
Oh,
if
good.
So it looks like my game is freezing for some reason. So
that's all right.
I'm just going to quickly cut this scene to something else. You can take your leave, Elfie. Thank you so much for joining me.
I will.
Let me restart the game and we can jump back into some more match-made games.
And maybe while you're restarting it, you can answer Arab's
Yep, I was about to get to that
as well.
in just 1 minute.
All right, farewell everyone. Take care, Dennis. Please let me know, and everyone else, please give me some feedback there on that game there, Twin Dennis. Would love that, mate. And yeah, cheers everyone. Take care. Thanks a lot, Jason.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. See you next time. So,
all right.
To answer Ariab's question, he just says, hey guys, just thought I'd ask, but for a high school student trying to get into the games industry, what's some of the best advice you can give? Now, I actually do a fair few talks at high schools because we actually have a traineeship program that we offer at Lightmare in Victoria and Queensland, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I get asked this sort of question all the time. One of the things that I always tell people is that you are blessed in the way that this is one of the few industries where you can learn by doing. You don't need a specific qualification in order to make something. You can just make something, and it might not be very good. And you might be doing the entire thing based off of, tutorials you find online and random YouTube videos and pieces of code that you literally just rip from Google, but you can do that. You can make something in this industry. You can not really do that anywhere else. Like, let's say you want to become a bus driver. You can't really just drive a bus around and pick people up. You'd get arrested. You can't be like, you know what? I want to be a dentist. You can't invite your friends over and practice dentistry on them. It's not going to fly. But in gaming, there's nothing stopping you from just making. Explore your passions, find what you're good at, and just experiment in the making and creation process. And if you end up making something that's really good, it could end up going on to a portfolio. It could attract the attention of a developer team. It could attract the attention of publishers. There is so much that you can do while just making. And there is so much good that it could potentially lead to. It's actually one of the reasons that I got into gaming itself myself when I was in high school. It's just because I started doing something at home, and a couple of years later I got really good at it, and I just kept doing it. It's so motivating to be a part of, So I hope that kind of answered your question at least. Also, just for those of you that are stopping into the live stream and are relatively new here, I'm going to quickly jump over to the XCT cover reveal, which is the fun little thing that we're showing off. And then once we do that, we'll jump into one more little AI-based game. So enjoy the XCT cover reveal. So that's a really exciting thing that we get to show off at the moment. I'm very excited for all of that. I also have to just quickly remove myself from that. I just realized I'm in the wrong Discord area. There we go. Let's jump into one or two more games and see what we can do. The game scene in my country is pretty dull currently. I'm into graphics design. I currently study IT. Nice. It seems like you got a fair little mini skill set there building up for you. You should be able to hopefully pivot that into creating something nice. You're off to a good start anyway. I mean, what you study doesn't always get you where you end up. For example, I studied marketing. I never really studied design or community or video editing and media management. And those seem to be the things that I do with the majority of my time. So, yeah, just because you study one thing doesn't mean you can't end up doing something completely left of field of it. If you have the skill set and if you have the passion, you can potentially find yourself on an indie team that just has, you know, very small moving hats. Like, one of the cool things about working at Lightmare myself is that sometimes I wake up in the morning and I don't know what I'm doing that day. And I'll end the day having done something completely different. I've already... Card game idea, just for fun. Nice. Good stuff. Oyab says, thanks for that, really appreciate it. Happy to help, my good man. Let's jump into another round of do we jump into a versus battle or training? I feel like if we go into a versus battle, it's a little bit unfair because, you know, most of the people that are playing the game at the moment are people that picked it up from Steam Summer Sale, or, you know, a couple of people we've given keys to, and a couple of people who just found it on Steam and just bought it organically. They're not necessarily well versed at the game, and they're versing someone who's played it a lot. Having said that, I did just lose to someone who was level 2, so maybe I'm not that good. Maybe this is more of a fair fight than I realize. Maybe I'm the one that's disadvantaged here. I don't know. Let's jump into a versus battle, see if we end up with someone. If this makes it to 30 seconds, if this makes it to 60 seconds, we'll just jump into AI. I'll jump on verse with you. Let's go. All right, bring it on, Aiden267. Welcome, welcome. And then balance kicks in. It's the challenge of development. Yeah. Hey, Aiden, welcome. All right. So I'm currently playing a weird amalgamation idea that I had. And that's an awful first hand. Sure. That actually didn't end up too badly in the end. I got a bit tunnel vision there on something specifically. Also, Aiden is in the Twitch chat. I am going to trust you to not spy on me and my moves. Alright, we're on the honor system here. It's up to you, but, you know, please do the right thing. Don't be a dog. Easy. Yeah? Cool. I'm gonna trust him. Nope. Nope. None of this. I hate all of that. No, thank you. Drop bear. Going in for the kill. Don't do that, drop bear. Right. That's a horrible idea. That's not too bad of an idea. That's okay. And I can't touch that. Alright. Sweet. Drain pops it. Oh, what? Didn't I drain that? There. Oh, okay, there it goes. Vasir? No. We want to go Coyle. This is... I would love to get a unit. That would be fantastic. I'm going to throw away that. This is not where I want to be, ladies and gentlemen. welcome. Hold on, let me see if I can pronounce this correct. Worcestershire Fuchs 1942. I'm just going to call you W or Dub. Hopefully you're okay with that. Infinity Wars is still running, kind of, I guess. I've got literally nothing to play this turn. I can't do anything. Yeah, so what you're seeing here is Infinity Heroes, which is like the... Oh my god, just give me a unit, please. I can't... Oh. No. So what you're seeing at the moment is Infinity Heroes, which is like the sister sequel spin-off to Infinity Wars. The basic idea is that it would be, you know, lowered barriers of entry, easier to get into for the players, and, you know, more of a fun, accessible, beginner-friendly title when compared to the likes of, you know, Infinity Wars, which, you know, Infinity Wars, let's be real, it's not exactly the easiest game to get a new guy into. It's a bit of a learning curve. A lot of stuff going on. It's difficult to actually start into. So, you know, this is the game that is designed to break barriers of entry and make the game easier for new players. Yeah. As for Infinity Wars itself, there's good chances that you'll end up seeing a new version of that come out, you know, soon. We will be having the first playable versions of it coming out soon, but it's not going to be anywhere near done. That'll just basically be remastered Infinity Wars. Should hopefully be super exciting. Oh, we got a really good mind bomb there. I'm very happy with that. That is going to hurt his turns coming up. Okay. Angels were too easy to win with. After the changes, they're a bit harder to win with. I mean, whenever this kills you, that's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, with card games in general, it's hold on, what's this do? Oh. So yeah, with card games in general, it's always going to be hard to balance things and get them right. I think, I can't remember which developer it was, but they used the expression wall of levers when referring to their own game League of Legends and how they handle that. Because, like, if you pull a lever in one location, it changes every single other lever on the wall. You can't change just one lever without it affecting, like, everything in really weird ways. And that's probably one of the harder things to actually deal with. No, I don't like that. No. Okay, does this... I feel like I could have had a potentially slightly better start. That's okay. My advice would be to grow the player base and then having constant feedback while being mindful. That's, yeah, part of what we're going for. I mean, do you recall much about the original council team that they had for Infinity Wars Classic? Like, the original Infinity Wars, anyway. Man, what is that? That's not good. I hate all of that. But yeah, they had a council, which was basically a high-level team of players that would advise on balancing stuff just constantly. And yeah, they were, like, you know, the go-to people when they're asking, like, hey, is this card overpowered? Is this card good? Is this card bad? They'd be the people that you would ask, and they would be able to tell you. Let's break that. Let's play that. And cool. Slightly happy with that. He does have the flames, which means that, you know, things aren't going fantastically right now for us, but we'll see. Did get him an okay Mind Meld. Only one of those cards is still going to be in his hand. That's okay. We're still flying over the top of his defenses. He's going to be forced to try and push through us. And we still do have Weezer on the board, who's just going to slowly weaken his everything. Okay, we ended up going into a pretty okay situation. How to end this, so throw that there, throw that there, hold on, doink, 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 you, that. There. Is this enough? Do we have enough? Ouch. Is that pacifying winds? Yeah, it is. What a perfect board wipe. Steals the game right out from underneath me. Congratulations, good man. I have been defeated by Aiden. If he hadn't pulled that off, that would have been perfect. That would have been my game. I got greedy, I went too wide too fast, and he totally took advantage of me for it. Well played. I think we have time for one more. How long has the stream been going for? Oh, 1 hour on the dot. Perfect. I'll just sit and chat for the last little bit. And yeah. Ask me some questions, guys. What do you people want to excuse me. What do you people want to know about Infinity Wars Classic, Infinity Engine, Infinity Heroes? Twin Dennis says, how do you plan to monetize Infinity Heroes? Think League of Legends model. All of the decks that you see here are pre-constructed decks, and you take 3 of them into a game. These pre-constructed decks are completely free at the moment in the closed beta, but that's because you have to pay to get into the closed beta. When we go into the open beta, they will be completely locked, with the exception of A, purchasing them with in-game currency that you grind up, B, purchasing them with, you know, actual real monies, or C, will also have a free rotation week that'll change every single week, so you can, you know, try a little bit of everything, you know, just buy what you want to keep. Infinity Wars Classic sounds good. Yeah. I mean, that's just us taking the Infinity Wars gameplay and putting it into an engine that could actually, you know, hold its weight for what it was actually supposed to be. I mean, not 100% sure how much you know about the original Infinity Wars development, but, like, there was a team of, like, 15 people that worked on that for 3 months, and they cut corners. They cut corners, they took shortcuts, they didn't document things, they just pushed it out as best they could, and it broke. They tried their hardest, they cut so many corners, and it broke, because it just wasn't built to last. And, you know, we're doing everything we can now to make sure that we're building things that don't break. Or at least break less. And at the very least, if they do break, we can track down how they broke and fix it. One of the things that's really upsetting about the original Infinity Wars codebase is it's currently so bad that, you know, we can't go back and fix it because there's no documentation. Code was written and there's no actual way to track down what that code does other than to pull at it like spaghetti. And, you know, just see what else unfurls and what it points to as you try and figure it all out. Not only that, but every single individual card was hard-coded. So if a card interacted with a different card in a specific way, it was hard-coded to that card. So, for example, let's say you've got a card that says, hey, make this immune to all effects. And you have a card that says, you know, make this do this. The first card that says make it immune to all effects says, you know, make it immune to everything. And you can code that one pretty easy. But then what if you have something that says, you know, ignoring a card's skill effects, do this? It would have to be hard-coded to go, okay, is it this specific card? No? Okay, ignore it. If it is this specific card, do it. And that's just like one theoretical example. If you have an entire card game with 800 cards and every single key interaction has to be handwritten, you're going to have some shady stuff happening in the end. And yeah, we did. So yeah, we're no longer doing individual hard-coded cards, and there's a lot more documentation going on now too. Question... what will happen for those who did purchase closed beta? So not only are you already grinding out packs and currency and stuff before everybody else gets the chance to, but all existing accounts will be credited their hero unlock tokens, which means that you get a set amount of heroes that you could have, you can unlock for free. And also, if you got into the Kickstarter or Indiegogo campaigns, you will also get these, but potentially more. I think that if you're a higher tier and you paid for like the alpha access, you get like 6 or something keys. I'm not 100% sure. Don't know off the top of my head. Magic stack system saves it from the trouble. it goes alright. Create a template system for that. Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. We've got a modular design. So each effect is hard-coded, and it is hard-coded with how it deals with other effects, not individual cards. Not only that, but there's documentation for all of it. So it tells you, hey, this little part of the code here is why it interacts with this specific interaction of an effect. And that's why it's like this, and that's why it's written like this, and it relies on these parts of the code for it to work in this way. All fully documented. I don't really speak or know code stuff, but they've got it so simply done that I've actually been helping a little bit with build stuff for the Infinity Wars Classic. I've been importing over all of the old, well, not all of them, but some of the old Infinity Wars 2013 cards into the engine and making sure that they had the right stat values and such. You know, just making sure that, oh, this card has, you know, 5 attack, 8 health. Type that in, 5 and 8. Done. And it's, yeah, really easy to understand. And then, like, they've shown me the code base for the Infinity Wars 1. It's like reading Greek. I just don't understand it. I've never been more unclear on something in my life. I just don't get it. So we will be ending up the stream in just a couple more minutes. If you do have any last minute questions, now's the best time to drop them into the chat. We've got Facebook, YouTube and Twitch chats all going here at the moment. There's probably also, I think we're also broadcasting to Steam, but I've never actually had the ability to bring up Steam, the Steam page. I am Greek, thank you very much. I love your language, I just can't read it. It's not discrimination saying that I'm a dummy that hasn't learnt anything and I'm not multicultural. That's not... It's okay. It's really good to hear about backend. I did my work experience 8 years ago. Nice. 100% remember coming in and some of the guys had been up coding all night, grinding stuff out. A lot of hard-working guys on a small team. It's just what happens, unfortunately. Glad to hear there's oversight on it this time. Indeed there is. I mean, you'd know Coyle, CEO man of everything. He is fantastic when it comes to design, but he was also leading a pretty junior new studio. We developed one game before. One game? Two games? I'm pretty sure one game before. And then we tackled Infinity Wars. And Infinity Wars ended up being a lot bigger than we anticipated, and was a lot more popular than we were ready for. And yeah, we just weren't experienced enough to really know how to do things correctly, so ran into mistakes. But that's okay. 5 to 10 years later, a lot of mistakes made, a lot of lessons learned, and we're implementing all of those learnt lessons. I'm dyslexic in Greek, but not in English. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm not really sure how to respond to that. I want to quickly check if this is happening correctly. Oh, look at that. We are actually broadcasting live on stream. Is there a chat box? Show chat. There is a chat box. I hope people haven't been People are actually watching live. Look at that. Hello, everybody watching on Steam. I guess I might have to start bringing up the Steam chat as well. I'm not really sure if people are chatting there, but I'll have to make sure that I've got it up just in case they are. Alright, so before we head off again... It's awesome, man. Super keen for the return of IW. I hate just tie me over. Keep it up. That's fantastic. I mean, we completely understand that a lot of our original audience for Infinity Wars doesn't necessarily love Infinity Heroes because it's not made for them. It's made for an entirely different audience. And, you know, if... the example that I gave is actually, what if you go to a place that's really good at selling burgers? And you love these burgers, and you go to other burger joints all the time, but this place makes the best burgers you've ever had. And they're fantastic. And then one day they come out and say, okay, we made cake. And everybody's there for burgers. And they're like, oh, okay. Can we get a burger? Like, no, we made cake. Do you want some cake? And they're like, no, we don't want cake. We came here for burgers. We love your burgers. It's like, well, we've got cake. And then we go to another group of people like, hey guys, you want cake? And they're all like, yeah, we do. We get them into the shop, and then when they're in the shop eating cake, we're like, oh, by the way, we've also got burgers. And like, oh my god, burgers. Some of them are going to be like, yeah, I don't really care for burgers. More of a cake guy. They eat their cake and they're happy. But meanwhile, we get more people to join the burger club. They come sit at the burger table with everybody else. Like, dude, we've been waiting for our burgers, but like, oh my god, these burgers are so good. So worth the wait. And we got more people coming to the table. That's probably the dumbest analogy ever, but that's okay. Yeah, completely different. It's a different game for a different audience. When there is some overlap there, so a fair few people like it, but yeah, completely understandable that people aren't as passionate about Infinity Heroes yet, especially considering its junior state in the project. Alright, I'll be showcasing the reveal trailer thingamabob one more time before we end up the stream. Thank you all so much for being a part of it. I hope you all enjoyed. If you do want to continue the conversation, we do have Infinity Wars and Infinity Heroes Discord servers. They're absolutely fantastic places to come chat. I think there's some new messages there that I haven't actually had the chance to read yet tonight, so I'll get the chance to go back and read those soon. Let me see if I can drop in the links for those in the chat rooms. Okay, here we go. I gotta start a notepad file so I can actually do both. That's not right. there we go. Yeah, we don't have the exclamation mark Discord thing going at the moment. So I'm just manually linking to all 3 places. I'm going to throw those in Discord as well. In Discord. I'm going to throw those in Steam as well, just in case. Just in case. It's weird seeing that we actually have people watching over there. I didn't actually imagine it to be that popular, but that's okay. Welcome, Steam people. We're just ending up for the night. But before we do, one more time I'd like to bring you into the reveal trailer. Enjoy. Oh, I messed it up. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you all in the next live stream. Stay safe out there. Discord and Discord links are in the links area of the links. Click those links. See you all next time. Bye.